Oh, hello, everyone.
Oh.
Hello, everybody.
Hatapa.
Hatapa. Hatapa. Hey, what's up?
I am the chef. Hey, man.
I am the chef.
I'm the chef.
I'm the chef. What's, sorry, I'm trying to get my volume good here so that we could hear you clearly and not have the music fucking deafening you out.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're good. Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, man.
How was your week?
I'm doing great. I was doing great.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
We'll
get into that.
I think we'll get into that. All right. We got several things where we wanted to talk about today. That is tasty and delicious, and I'm sure to earn the name Dumpster Delvers. Keep
That's
the trash that is happening out there in the world right now. Keeps the dumpster nice and bright. Keeps it good and good to go, and yeah, like absolutely. Oh, hold on one sec. Let me adjust something real quick. Never and no bounce. Okay, there we go. So that way it looks like we're talking. Yeah. Shoot, man. Where do you we've got 3 topics that I know we wanted to talk about. We've got more Monster Manual shenanigans from D&D that I thought I was going to be done talking about, but shit keeps popping up and I keep going, fuck that. That's dumb. That's real dumb.
They can't help themselves.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a political topic that we were discussing with one of the many flurry of executive orders that were signed by God Emperor Trump.
Correct.
And eggs. How fucked is that? Jesus Christ, man. What vibe do you want to start off with?
Ooh, here's the real test for the podcast.
Yeah.
I have a roommate whom is my best friend, who I've known for many, many years. I met this individual through Conan Exiles, which is an RPG where you basically play it's like a survival Conan themed game. We met through there, and this individual became a part of my life, and they have been a player in many of my games, basically damn near all of them. There was a point in time where when Momo was paying me when she was streaming our game, I was sending some of the money that I earned to him so he could support his family in Venezuela while he was still living there. We eventually managed to get him out of Venezuela. We brought him to America.
Wow.
I say we, like I fucking did all the back-breaking labor. It was Momo.
But I mean, you were able to bring some money over to help with that. So I mean, you definitely were a part of that help. You know what I mean?
We get him to America. He moves in with Momo. I eventually move in with Momo. We've had him here. It's been like several years. We've been fighting to get him citizenship.
Right.
We finally managed to, through all of the hurdles, manage to get him a visa so that way he can stay here, start working or start looking for work, all that stuff.
Yeah.
The issue is that as he's looking for work, people are like hemming and hawing about hiring him. They have to go through rather extensive background checks. Then, out of fucking nowhere, as he's basically getting slated to start working, an executive order gets dropped.
So this just happened.
This happened within the last like a week or so.
Well, yeah, I know about that, but I mean that you got your friend here out of Venezuela. That just happened recently. I thought that was like years ago or something like that.
Years. That's what I'm saying. We've been fighting for years to get him. Oh my god,
trying to get him like a job and citizenship. Yeah.
We have been fighting to get him a job and citizenship, like basically get him just even a green card. Because if you get a green card, then you can start working towards towards naturalization, start working towards becoming an active citizen, all that shit.
Yeah.
We finally managed to get him that last year. This year, they dropped the executive order like 5 days ago that basically is revoking Venezuelan statuses.
Yeah.
So even within like a couple months, if it gets passed, it's basically 60 days after it gets passed.
Yeah.
He will, because he hasn't been, because we don't live in a state that believes in naturalization, meaning if you've lived in the state for long enough, you basically just become a citizen.
Which is wild to me, which is insane to me personally.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
My best friend now is basically in a situation where if this gets passed and doesn't get stopped by any Supreme Court or anything like that, he gets sent back to what is effectively a dead country. His family is not there anymore. So he has nothing in Venezuela. There's nothing for him to go back to.
I feel like this administration has really been a test of like executive powers and like, you know, what can be done and what can't, because a lot of things have been trying to get pushed through. And fortunately, a lot of those things have also been blocked by judges because they've been deemed unconstitutional. So a lot of the time it does feel like a lot of things are just are being pushed out as executive orders. Then a few days later, a judge is like, yeah, that's unconstitutional. We're not doing that. With the Venezuelans, I'm not for me, it's, I genuinely don't know, you know, what kind of extent a president has, right? So for those that are curious about this, and the AP reported on this, the Trump administration ends temporary deportation protections for 350,000 Venezuelans, which is insane. It is absolutely ridiculous. And to the people out there that are celebrating whenever these safeties or these protections, or you know, trying to end birthright citizenship, or just being horrible to your fellow man and human being, like, what are you doing? You know, where has common decency gone? Like, what has happened to the care of your fellow man? You know what I mean? It's
wild.
It's really just, well, so here's one thing that I brought up actually to my partner, to Masay a couple of days ago, is I went on a pretty shitty not shitty, David. It was a very weird branch off of a tangent, because we've also discussed how people don't know how to people after COVID just have given up
how to drive anymore.
Driving. Yeah, exactly. One of my pet peeves is not using a fucking turn signal. And my issue, my mental dilemma when it comes to these things is I look deep into it and I read deep into it, and I just piss myself further than me just being like, Grumble guy didn't use his turn signal. For me, it's like, why are you not using your turn signal? Like, what is there to gain for not using your turn signal? Is it laziness? Because Jesus Christ, your hands, your fingers are right there. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to just move your fingers up on a wheel that you're already holding on to. Like, like so it pisses me off because I don't know what you're doing. If you're not using your turn signal, you're endangering everyone on the road. I will take that to my fucking grave, because people need to know what cars are doing when they're on the fucking road, right? And if you can't even bother to use a turn signal to show that, just that minute amount of effort, which is, even that is like too much, right? To let your fellow man know, hey, I'm coming in this lane. Hey, I'm turning down this road. Hey, I'm doing this. That you just went, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. And it's just like, motherfucker, like, have some care for your fellow man. Like, what the hell?
Brother, the whole essential worker shit. I worked at a gas station in Oregon where it is a state law that we pump your gas for you. You are not allowed to pump your own gas. You get fined if you pump your own gas.
Yeah.
The amount of people I had come up to me during COVID, and I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, you have to wear a mask. She's like, fuck you. I'm like, all right. Do you understand how easy it is?
Yeah.
Just to fucking be a nice person and just put on a fucking mask.
It feels itchy on my face. I don't like how it feels on my face. It's just like, fucking God.
Hey, dog, you're not the main fucking character.
Yeah.
It's really I don't care if the mask doesn't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Just put on the fucking mask.
Just wear it.
Just to be a decent person.
Don't be a fucking...
Christ almighty, I see the cross hanging from your fucking neck. What does that mean?
Amen to that. I'm gonna be real with that.
It was a ton of that. It was
oh my God.
It was 2 years of
Jesus
that
Christ.
back to fucking back, bro. I was so fed up working.
Yeah. Nothing breaks my heart more than my grandmother who passed away November. And she was a devout Catholic, a devout Christian, but she instilled upon me the values of treating people with decency and you know, she is the example of what I believe a Christian or Catholic should be out in this world, you know, like what is actually preached and done, taking care of your fellow person. It's okay, you know, faith is was a big important part to her, but it wasn't just a shield that she used to get away with shitty stuff. You know, it was
100%.
It was, you know, you know, if you had any value in your religion at all, you take those lessons into life out there. And this motherfucking national right Christian bullshit who uses
I think it's evangelicals is what it is.
Oh no, I don't. Maybe it is evangelical, but it is this sort of Christian movement. Trump just announced today he wanted to do like a church wing or something like that, or some sort of where essentially. Let me. I have to look this up. Trump signs executive order related to faith announcement.
Huh?
Yeah. President Donald Trump said Thursday that he wants to root out anti-Christian bias in the U.S., announcing that he was forming a task force led by the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to investigate the targeting of Christians.
I know that motherfucker is the farthest thing from Christian ever.
And it's just like, Trump said Bondi will also work to fully prosecute anti-Christian violence and vandalism in our society, to move heaven and earth to defend the rights of Christians and religious believers nationwide. Here's my 2 cents on that. Motherfucker, separation of church and state. It's really really incredible how the right preaches, you know, all these things about the Constitution, you know, my Second Amendment, bah, bah, bah. But when we start talking about church, oh boy, we don't know, we're a Christian nation. And I'm like, that's bullshit in my mind. It's for me, maybe it's just not
a Christian nation.
Well, apparently we want to be, you know. Well, okay, first of all, you are correct. We are not supposed to be a Christian nation. Separation of church and state. It's all in the fucking Constitution, specifically to get away from, you know, the rule of kings, you know, and that we were to be a true democracy. Somewhere along the way, we seem to have lost that, especially when it comes to some of our more right-leaning individuals who thinks, you know, God is great, Christianity is great. Let's go ahead and put that all, you know, we should be a Christian nation. And it goes against the following, the you know, founding fathers may have been Christian, but like, it kind of goes against all of that shit. You know what I mean? Like it goes against the, you know, the separation of church and state. So the fact that we have, you know, God on our buddy, you know, on our one nation, the fact we have to say one nation under God during the Pledge of Allegiance, which was added, I think, in 1957 from right-leaning, you know, vote in there. It's just, this shit has been going on for forever now. So so again, it drives me up the wall that you have this big push to make a national religion of the United States, you know, Christianity, and yet these motherfuckers can't do what they preach, especially when it comes to immigration, when it comes to you know, people who are trying to become citizens here in our states. The fact that we can't be Christian and treat your fellow man with fucking. It's so hypocritical to me. Everything's fucking hypocritical. It just drives me fucking up the fucking wall. The amount of hypocrisy. Do what you preach. But if it's inconvenient, don't worry about it. And as long as like 80% of the time you're good. No. That's not how that shit works. That's not how that shit works. It's just. It's ridiculous, and everyone who came here and wanted to see, little raccoon and bear having a good time in front of the dumpster fire. So sorry we're getting into the heavy topics right away, but Jesus fucking Christ, like literally, quite literally.
Imagine my fucking surprise. Yeah. Like I wake up, I go upstairs, and I see Momo's mom speaking with my friend. Mm-hmm. For those of you. Because he's already talked about him before.
Yeah.
You know who he is. For those of you that are from my community or from the world of Adis, this player is Cyric. Mm-hmm. Cyric is my best friend. We fucking pulled him out of the hell state that is Venezuela to give him a better opportunity, a better life. And I go upstairs and I see Momo's mom speaking to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? You're not here. What are you supposed to do? Like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to show up until Wednesday. And she's like, well, I'm talking to Cyric about this executive order that went through. And I racked my brain. I was like, I don't remember hearing any executive, like, this motherfucker has been pumping out executive orders every goddamn day.
And also, tinfoil hat, probably not, but I mean, I feel like that's also been part of the goal, is just to just overwhelm you with just all the shit that's being pushed out, because when
you can push shit on the side. That's also what we talked about.
And so, because when you were talking about what happened with the Venezuelans, I was like, oh, I didn't know about that. And I've been trying my best to keep away from the news, but I've also been failing pretty fucking bad at it. And
I doom scroll every night. It's just
I don't want to. I even made a promise to myself. I was like, if there's gonna be some unhinged shit, it's just gonna get me worked up. I need to stay away from this. I know that the media machine is out there to get me outraged, because that's what works when it comes to media. Is if you're doom scrolling, if something's pissing you off, you're gonna stay on that far longer than if something. Because I hate X. I fucking can't stand X. I don't want anything to do with X. And yet, I find myself on X 5 to 10 times more than I am on Blue Sky. And I love Blue Sky. I love the platform that's being built on that. But I am nowhere near on Blue Sky as much as I am on X. And that frustrates the fuck out of me. Like, it absolutely does. So, yeah, part of it is just there's so much shit just getting pushed out that you can't keep up with all of it. So yeah, like I said, when you brought up the Venezuelan thing, I was just like, oh fuck, I didn't know that. So I'm reading through all of it now. Especially here in Florida, there's been a big protest because there's a lot of Venezuelans that live here in Florida. And meanwhile, our governor's like, this is the good call. Our governor is also a 43-year-old fucking idiot crybaby boy, so I just hate the state. I hate the state. His name
fucking
DeSantis,
that's what it is.
Yeah, it's just he played the Trump game, was hoping that would boost his political career. He essentially rode on Trump to get governor. When he tried to run for president, he did so fucking bad that everyone was like, wow, this guy's a fucking loser. And I'm like, thank you. And so he came back to our state in disgrace, where he's now going to quote unquote govern for the next year or two. But yeah, he's just he plays the Trump book. It's all about outrage and anger, and he's when it comes to what's happening with with Venezuelans losing deportation, ending the temporary deportation protection. He's just like, yeah, I think that was a good call. And it's like, fuck off, man. Fuck you. So there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people here, a lot of Venezuelans that also voted for Trump. And now they're like, wait a minute, what? And it's just like, oh, guys. Oh, fuck, man. It's the fucking quick con, man. The quick con. But anyways, yeah, continue. I just wanted to interject that we're getting bombarded with executive orders.
It was that
right
I make
now.
the joke. I make the joke because it's a meme that I've seen. That the only lighthearted, I guess not even really right. The only like meme that I've seen that's been even funny in regards to this at all is like Trump passes executive order, just straight up kill you in your house. Like that's the fucking we just show up, we just kill you in your home. Obviously it's hyperbole, it's a joke, but I've just found it fucking hilarious.
And the executive order where the national bird is now the McNugget, you know, like
yeah, just crazy off the wall shit. Is I don't know, like I remember sitting down and being like, wait, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then we had this like 3-hour long conversation upstairs, just like, okay, what the fuck do we do? Like we've been fighting tooth and fucking nail, going through every goddamn hurdle to make it legit, because it's I understand the plight, right? You do everything legit. You follow every fucking T. You dot every single goddamn I, and it takes years to get fucking recognized, to get your citizenship, all this shit. You do everything by the fucking book, and then you just get the rug pulled out from underneath you, even though you've been following every fucking law that they've put in front of you. It just goes, aha, got you, and just fucking sends you back to the fucking hellscape that you escaped.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's frustrating.
it's
incredibly frustrating. Yeah.
It'd have been easier had we not done fucking anything. Had he just been an illegal immigrant and just stayed in the house, fucking doing nothing. It'd have been that none of this shit would have happened to him.
Terrible.
But instead, he decides to do the right thing. He decides to follow everything that they tell him to do. Yeah. And at the end of the day, if this fucking executive order gets passed, guess what? Because you followed all the rules, all the laws, we send you back to your communist hellhole. Yeah. Good job. Congrats. Thanks for spending 3 fucking years in America paying taxes and all this shit. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, reported from NPR, Venezuelan migrants in South Florida say they feel betrayed by a Trump administration decision to end legal protections for hundreds of thousands of people who fled dictatorships and sought refuge in the U.S. New regulations scheduled to be published this week would end temporary protected status for more than 300,000 Venezuelans in early April. Protections for a second group of some 250,000 Venezuelans currently extended through September, but now also seem likely to be removed. The move by the Trump administration is a turnabout of a long-standing U.S. policy that extends TPS to more than 500,000 Venezuelans. On NBC's Meet the Press Sunday, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said she believed the designation had been abused. Remember, she said, Venezuela purposely emptied out their prisons, emptied out their mental health faculties, and sent them to the United States of America, which is so terrible. Well, I mean, it's the playbook. It's the Trump administration playbook that, you know, we need to blanket the people that we want out of our country as criminals and mental health.
Yeah, of course, man.
Facilities.
It's fear-mongering. It's
awful. It's awful. And it's you know, I don't know if it's from my own personal distrust and paranoia of, you know, people in general, but it's like, how are we not able to see that this is clearly a tactic that is being used to take advantage of the fears of the American people, and it's working, and it's
correct.
Very unfortunate, because like when the that plane crashed, and immediately was being blamed on DEI hires and all that shit, and you're just
I'm like how does it make sense?
It makes no
that's
sense.
Your fucking go-to. That's what the airplane crashes over the last, I don't know, because Boeing doesn't know how to build a decent fucking plane. That's what it's been. It's been DEI for the last 20 years. The rampant increase in airplane crashes.
It's just, it's
not cutting costs. Well, not fucking underhanding.
Yep. I think a lot of it has to do with, especially after this administration won the White House and won Congress and Senate and all that, they looked at each other and went, oh, we could just bold-faced lie about anything and everything. And even if it doesn't make sense, there is enough of our constituents who will go to bat and go, yeah, or go to say, yeah, I don't fucking care what reason they give, as long as they're doing what I want them to do. Because it's just like, a lot of people looked at this administration coming in and being like, how did this happen? It was so obviously like pandering and all that shit. And you're just like, oh God, either enough people believe it or enough people don't care that it's a lie. And both those sides are terrified to me. I think a lot of what it has to do, and this is, again, more my tinfoil hat theory, our education system is dog shit. Huh. And yeah. Unfortunately, I think we have a political party that is taking advantage of the uneducated, and also making sure that people remain uneducated. Why would we invest in an American education system that would teach people about history and dictatorships and learn so that we could avoid these mistakes as we see them being repeated now 100 years later? I think I do believe that we have a party that benefits from for people who are uneducated, and to invest in an education system would only hurt them, and that is unfortunate. That is disappointing.
Give me just a moment. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, Bear's gone. I kick him in the shins. So yeah. It's but same thing that I tell people all the time, and I tell everyone, is be the change that you want to see. Don't try and hope for change. Make that change happen. If there's something that you don't like out there, try and make that change. Or you don't even have to do anything revolutionary. Just showing kindness to a stranger, in my personal opinion, is enough to make a change. And of course, vote in your elections, as discouraging as it can be, as wasteful as it feels, but yeah, exactly. We've got Bard Rock, who says, I'll be honest, I got differing views, but that's why people are having different options. I mean, I think having different views and having a conversation about it is incredibly important. Something that I personally have spoken with, I think I've even spoken about this on this podcast, is we've gotten ourselves into these separate camps of, I need to be with the people that believe in everything that I believe in. And if you say anything that's against that, it's an attack on me and it's wrong. And at the end of the day, especially when it comes to things like politics, there needs to be discussion. There needs to be healthy debate. We need to find the middle ground and stop going with these absolutes, whether it's left or right. We need to figure out how, as a nation, we can live together. And that's why I was ultimately disappointed at what happened with X and Blue Sky. Is, I feel more comfortable on Blue Sky. But when Blue Sky became a thing, everyone that was X has now become this very right-leaning platform. Blue Sky has become this left-leaning platform, and everyone's just kind of in their safety bubbles. And like, I understand the need to feel comfortable and feel safe, but I also feel like we need to have the maturity to be able to talk with someone that has different beliefs and have a conversation, not make it about personal insults, not making it about hurting the other person, but to have a genuine conversation, to actually have healthy debate and genuine conversation. So that, you know, obviously I'm going to have the things that I believe in. I have no issues discussing with people that have different opinions than I do. But unfortunately, we've kind of put everyone into this fever. You know what I mean? Into this feverish hit where, like, if you say anything that I disagree with, it's a personal attack on me. And unfortunately, there are also bad actors who kind of relish and celebrate bullying of people. Like one of the biggest things that I saw on X was when Trump became president, some jackass was saying, "Your body, my choice," which is fucking disgusting. Like, first of all, I don't care if you're trolling or not. That's just disgusting fucking behavior. And it's this weird notion of my side won, so now I get to be a jackass to you. That's terrible. That's absolutely awful, piss poor behavior. But that is unfortunate. That's the internet, sadly. That is the internet in the time that we unfortunately live in. So that's why I try to tell people, just be the change you want to be. Be kind to your neighbor, whether you know them or not, and look out for yourself and make sure you're taking yourself good. It's very important that you're doing that, you know, and you're just trying to be the change that you want to be.
I'm back.
Okay, good. Did you just come back, or was it because I paused?
I just came back.
Oh, sick! Awesome. I just wrapped up my point, so there it was. I was talking about essentially, you know, how we've essentially become so divided in our camps, you know, where it's like, I need to be around people that believe in what I believe in all the time, and I can't have a conversation with someone who may disagree with my views, so that we can find hopefully a middle ground or learn something about each other. That we can't do that anymore, you know, because of
Correct.
how social media has essentially split us up into these camps. It's just very unfortunate. So that's what I was telling the lovely people while you were away.
Tribalism is something wicked.
Mm-hmm. History, education. We need to fix our education. I genuinely believe that if we were a better educated country, we wouldn't be dealing with half the shit we're dealing with right now.
Correct.
I truly, genuinely believe that. It just, yeah. We'll see what happens in 4 years, you know? We'll see exactly what the fuck happens. But we got our game plans. We're going there, and we'll go do that. So, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear what's happening. We'll see what happens with this, because like I said, we've had a lot of these orders be blocked by judges specifically because they are deemed unconstitutional, and I feel like removing these, even though they were temporary protected statuses, right? I don't know if it can be removed so quickly, or if they were put as temporary protected status specifically so someone can just remove that, you know. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea, but we'll just like with everything, we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. So, and this is something that just you recently discovered as well, so definitely keep us up to date on that.
I shall.
Because that shit sucks. Was there anything else you want to discuss on this topic?
You had mentioned, I guess it's tangentially related, eggs.
You don't know what's going on with eggs. So
I did not.
Yeah, egg prices have been skyrocketing through the roof due to inflation and avian flu. In fact, let me look this up.
Avian flu.
Mm-hmm. Why eggs so expensive? Let's ask the question.
Has there been a recent string of bird flu again?
There has been for a while, apparently. Specifically, let's talk about Texas. Eggs are a high commodity for many Texans, and keeping them in stock is getting harder and more expensive. Egg prices and shortages are already a concern due to bird flu outbreak in the U.S., and consumers have experienced a surge in egg prices and limited supplies. Some consumers have shared their shopping experience on social media, showing empty shelves where eggs normally are. Experts say bird flu has been plays a large part in the price of eggs. Over the past 3 years, bird flu has been reported in more than 145 million birds in 618 counties and all 50 states, according to the CDC data as of January 24th. So yeah, currently eggs have been really bad, and prices have gotten really fucking insane because of that. Reported by Newsweek, the average cost of a dozen large grade A eggs hit $4.15 in December 2024, up 14% from the previous month, according to federal data. Shoppers are encountering prices as high as $8 a dozen.
God damn.
With many grocery stores enforcing purchasing limits. The USDA predicts egg prices will rise another 20.3% in 2025, further straining household budgets. While price hikes are coming ahead of Easter due to increased demand, this year's surge is being primarily driven by supply disruptions. Egg prices have surged primarily due to the ongoing bird flu outbreak, which has devastated poultry farms across the U.S. Millions of egg-laying hens have been culled to prevent the spread of the virus, drastically reducing supply. Additionally, supply chain disruptions, transportation costs, and new state regulations requiring cage-free egg production have all contributed to higher prices. So, yeah, not good. The reason why I brought it up is because Cracker Barrel and Waffle House. I love Waffle House, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Well, I
did. We've talked about this.
Oh, I fucking love Waffle House. Specifically, I got news, which broke my heart. Waffle House has announced that they are going to be adding a 50-cent egg surcharge. So if you get, so for every egg you get, you'll be charged an additional 50 cents per egg.
Oh, damn.
The surcharge went into effect Monday, as reported by NBC News, and Cracker Barrel wasted no time whisking away concerns that it would follow suit. The surcharge on eggs, well, there's nothing hospitable about that, Cracker Barrel said Wednesday in a release. At Cracker Barrel, country hospitality is as important to us as a hearty breakfast, and that means not charging extra for eggs. God damn. Cracker Barrel coming in.
Yeah, they're throwing hands with Waffle House?
They are throwing hands with Waffle House. Rather than yoking customers with extra costs, Cracker Barrel is offering an incentive for those who order egg dishes. That's why I'll be trading some pegs for eggs. Starting tomorrow, which is Thursday, February 6th, so yesterday, all Cracker Barrel reward members will earn double pegs on all egg dishes through Wednesday. I don't know why I'm giving Cracker Barrel a fucking a southern accent, but that's what it feels like they did. Shoot, a surcharge on eggs? That's not very hospitable. That's why we're not doing that shit. Cracker Barrel said in a statement to NBC News that at Cracker Barrel, we've always been committed to providing our signature country hospitality and abundant value at a fair price, including incredible all-day value like our sunrise sampler starting at $7.99, our Mama's Pancake Special starting at $9.99. Show our appreciation to our loyal egg-loving guests. We're offering extra pegs this week that can be used at any time in our restaurant or retail. God damn, I didn't realize Cracker Barrel had beef with Waffle House. I didn't realize that shit at all. I didn't.
That's crazy.
This fucking swinging hands, dude. Cracker Barrel. Do you have a Cracker Barrel where you're at? Do you have Cracker Barrels?
Of course.
I don't fucking know. I don't know how far Cracker Barrel goes out. Cracker Barrel is pretty decent food and actually is pretty affordable. Like, if I was to order breakfast, because especially when I was sick, right? I had to constantly, order in food because I just had no strength to cook. And a lot of times I was going to Cracker Barrel because that was the affordable plate. That was the affordable food. As far as everything else went. Yeah, it was good. I mean, well, man, it was fine. But
I also remember them having pretty decently sized portions.
Yeah. No, the portion size great. They got the cinnamon apples, and they got not sponsored by the way. They got the cinnamon apples. They got like the hash brown casseroles and all that shit. It's good. Good stuff. While we are not sponsored by Cracker Barrel, we are sponsored by the lovely dumpster folks over on Patreon. High five. Thank you so much. Join the Dumpster Devils Patreon for ad-free episodes, private Discord access, and exclusive post shows over at patreon.com/dumpsterdelvers. Thank you to everyone who's joined so far. You can join for as little as $5 to get no background music. These ad reads or any ads that we have would be cut out. You just get pure distilled dumpster delving goodness. So join our Patreon today. Thank you to everyone who has joined our Patreon thus far. We're hoping to continue to keep that going so we can get this bear a phone. God damn it. I point at him, his hand in the honey. We gotta get this bear a phone. We gotta get him a phone line, man.
What was it? Somebody had brought up another goal after the phone, and I forget what it was.
Oh, there was another goal we've got after the phone?
It was something else that they were like, how do you not have that?
I don't know what that could be.
I don't know what it was. I completely forgot.
I remember I was trying to get in. I was trying to get a hold of you during Curse of Strahd because you were late. I was like, he slept through all his alarms. And I contact Sizzle. I'm like, hey, can you like call him? And Sizzle's like, can't. No phone. And I'm like, fuck. That's right. Shit.
Yeah, I slept through my alarms. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I kind of hate because I was on a decent sleep schedule for a while. Like waking up at like 8, 9 a.m. The latest waking up at like 10:30. And then it just recently went to hell, and I had that decent sleep schedule for like a month or two. It was really nice. I enjoyed that. And now I'm like, I kind of hate having a dog shit sleep schedule after having a good one for so long. I liked being up early in the morning because all of my friends were up.
You gotta do some work, man. You gotta get a schedule fixed. Fix it.
Yeah, I know.
I
just gotta stay up and ruin my my life and then go to bed at like 7 p.m.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that's. and try that. What is there anything that you could point at that may have ruined the sleep schedule?
Yeah, man. I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
It's called Evil Minecraft.
Oh, Vintage Story.
That's right. Speaking of, we should play it.
I got Vintage Story a while back, and when I started playing, I was like, I really don't want to learn another game, and so I stopped playing it. I played for like 10 minutes, but I've heard very good things about Vintage Story. I've got a lot of friends who have played Vintage Story, and yeah, it's maybe one day I will. It's I'm just tired, man. Like as weird as that sounds, like learning new games has become very challenging. You know,
Gotcha.
I'm like, God, do I want to spend that's why it's like I don't think I'll ever play like a new MMO, right?
Yeah.
Where I have to like learn a new game. It's just I don't think I want to fucking do that shit. Like, but I do, you know, I hear a lot of good things about Vintage Story. I hear that it's essentially isn't it like better, more detailed Minecraft, I guess is the best way you could describe it?
Brother, I'll let you've played Minecraft. You have a knowledge of Minecraft.
Of course.
In Minecraft, to make a sword, you need to take 2 of your requisite items, diamonds, slap a stick under there, boom, sword.
Yep.
If you want a sword in Vintage Story, you need to go find the ore, same as you would in Minecraft, except it's a fucker's game. You need actual math and knowledge of how the earth works. I'll give you an example. Hold on.
So I remember Vintage Story to me reminded me of when I was playing like SevTech in Minecraft, which is sort of like these ages of like You got to assemble these things that take a lot longer. It reminded me of Septac and Greg Tech, where it's just a lot of extra steps that kind of makes sense in the manufacturing of it, but it just feels like a long ass time to do shit.
There is the rock strata, which is the different types of rocks are found in different places. That's how the rock strata works.
Mm-hmm.
To find cassiterite, which is how you get tin. You need to find it in the metamorphic and igneous rock layers.
Huh. Like depth-wise, or like
yes,
in biomes, or
yes, both.
Okay, so all of the above.
To find copper, the way you generally find stuff, you can either pan for it, so you sift through some dirt and you fucking pan it in the water and find little copper nuggets, or you search the earth, you scour the surface in search of tiny little copper nuggets on the ground, and that usually denotes that there's a vein nearby, on the surface at least. You then dig up the earth to then get to the layer that has your copper in it, and you need to mine out the copper. Mind you, there's no like rock pickaxe.
Right.
You need to find the nuggets, bring it back home. You then need to take clay, make a crucible, put the crucible in a pit kiln to fire it to make it hard enough.
Oh yeah.
So that you can then put the nuggets in, cook the nuggets, then take the molten copper and pour it into another mold that you made for the pickaxe head. So you pour it in, you let it cool, you quench it, you then make your copper pickaxe.
How'd it feel when you made that pickaxe?
It felt great.
Yeah.
Brother, I love this game.
It sounds like your kind of game, yeah. It's evil because there's extra steps and it's not Minecraft.
Oh, brother, it's more than that. It's evil because it's evil.
How so?
When you are playing the game, you start out, you spawn in the world. No mods, no nothing. You spawn into the world. You generally spawn in temperate biomes. The world has an equator. The equator, from the North Pole to the equator, is 1 million kilometers.
Awesome.
It's the same from the equator to the South Pole. If you head north, guess what? The biomes start changing. You start getting colder. The temp starts dropping. If you start heading south, guess what? It starts getting a little bit hotter, a little bit more arid. You then begin to explore, and you'll notice on your hotbar, you have a little cog. And you go, that's a weird looking cog. It's like a teal color. That's weird. I've never seen that before. And sometimes it rotates. It starts to turn left, and you go, oh, that's weird. And sometimes it starts to turn right, and that's a little strange. And sometimes as you're walking, you'll watch as just rifts open in the world. And you go, that's weird. And if you happen to, I don't know, go close to it, your cog starts spinning and you are transported to the hellscape that is the other world, where these evil monster creatures made of cogs and rusted gears assail you, while a massive, and I mean like taller than the skybox creature roams in the distance.
Oh, Jesus.
Just this like monstrous entity that growls and like bellows, that like shakes the earth type shit
that
while you're being
like,
assailed.
That sounds like the Elden Ring expansion.
Ooh, bigger.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like it kind of sounds like that, where you're pulled into like the shadow or whatever. I forget what the expansion's name is, but yeah, that sounds. That sounds. I really wish I had time for those kind of games. I think especially when you're working on like the books and all the shows and all that, I'm just like I don't have that. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I want to. I really do. I would love to get to a point where, I don't have to like run a show or work on a book for a month, so I can just game for a little bit, even for like a week. You know what I mean? But not there, sadly. Breaks my heart that I've surrendered myself to the capitalist gods of making money, And now that's all I do is just be trying to make a. I'm in my 40s now. I'm not gonna. I've been saying this forever. I'm not gonna get Social Security. I'm sure. I know it's still there, but I guarantee.
It is? I thought they got rid of that.
No, they're trying to. But I'm just saying, like, in the next 25 plus years. Okay, sorry, the retirement age will go up. In the next 27 plus, it's gonna go up again. In the next 30 plus years, when I'm in like an iron lung or something, and then I finally have to retire. I have to rely on my retirement that I'm accruing. I can't rely on my country to give me Social Security benefits. It's just not gonna happen. So, I'm like, I gotta work. I gotta get that work so I can, one day buy a house. That's also seems to be an impossible dream nowadays, but you gotta make a bunch of money so you can purchase yourself a house that you're gonna hopefully perish in, and it's just that's for me what also, not only am I thankful I get to like work on game shit, right, and people are genuinely interested in that, which is a super cool feeling, but I also like that it makes a decent living, and I can always continue to work to try and build that business and that operation outwards to more people, so that we can have, bigger Kickstarters, bigger sales, more products to sell, and yeah, it's something that I'm building. It's not built yet. It's still in the process of building, but that unfortunately means it doesn't leave a lot of time for much else. You know what I mean? So like, I'm very happy that I have the ability to like, I can spend time with my partner. She gets to see me often enough, so that doesn't really leave much room for many other things, unfortunately. So like gaming for like 8 hours straight, I don't remember the last time I've done that. A new Monster Manual, or not Monster Manual, we will talk about that. New Monster Hunter came out. Did it come out today, or was I
think the beta came out. It's coming out the end of the month.
Okay. So I've got time. Oh my god, because I want to play that, the new Monster Hunter game.
Okay.
So did you play Monster Hunter? Did you ever play Monster Hunter?
Brother, I fucking love Monster Hunter.
Okay. Maybe we'll do something. Although my first hunting partner has to be Masay, because that was one of the first games we played when we first started dating. We were playing Rise. When we were during our friendship, when our friendship first blossomed, we played Rise.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I have to do that, but I definitely would love to get a group together to like hunt some fucking monsters. Did you play the demo at all of Monster Hunter?
I did not. I generally refrain from demos nowadays.
It's a lot. Like, I didn't play too much of it, but I was kind of under the impression where I was like, I think this is an open world Monster Hunter. Like, this is like you leave the little safety area, no loading bar, you're out, you're out in the world now. Like, it's just like, here's the village spots, and then go hunt the monster, and you leave the village, no loading screen, it's open world, it's out there. And I'm just like, that's kind of cool. I don't know how they're doing like different areas. I don't know anything about it, because I also haven't been looking at the features, but it definitely felt like it was gonna return back to Monster Hunter World specifically.
Yes.
And make it more open world as well.
I did like it a lot, at least from what I've seen so far.
Do you have a PlayStation 5?
No.
I didn't know.
I'm a PC gamer all the way.
Can your PC handle the this new Monster Hunter, do you think? I don't know what kind of rig you're working with.
I got a 3090, so I hope so.
I hope so too. I was trying to figure out. Well, let's you know what? Let's look at that. Monster Hunter Wild System requirements. Let's take a look at this. According to the Steam page, Monster Hunter's fucking requirements. Okay, I've never actually looked for system requirements before. I'm just like, it's either gonna run or it's not gonna run.
That's kind of where.
That's basically how it goes. It's either I boot it up and I go, can I play it or not?
Okay, so recommended is a 64-bit processor, Windows 10 or 11, Intel Core i5 10400 or Intel Core i3 12100. I don't know, or AMD Ryzen 5 3600. Those feel pretty low par. Recommended 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's pretty good. Graphics card, GeForce RTX 2060. So,
I'm Gucci.
yeah, I think you're gonna be good, man. 75 gigabytes of storage space. SSD required. This game is expected to run at 1080p 60 FPS with frame generation enabled under the medium graphics setting. Okay, so this is recommended is like that. So, and then there's also a benchmark that you could always download and run to. But
how big is this game? Is this game going to be like 900 fucking gigabytes, like it's a goddamn Call of Duty game?
75 gigabytes is the storage requirement.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's pretty good, and that will again run in under the medium graphics setting. So there you go. And yeah, you can check out the benchmark tool to see if it'll work for you. I already purchased it for the PS5, but I'll probably purchase it again for PC, which sucks because games are $70 now. Fun.
Are you mainly a PlayStation gamer? Have you sold your soul to Sony?
That's a hard.
I tap the mic. I push it in your
No,
face.
I
Have you sold
know.
your soul to Sony?
Look, so a lot of the games that I play on are on the PlayStation. That is correct. I also have that PlayStation Gold membership, which is very expensive, specifically for the classic games. Am I a Sony fanboy? I was once upon a time. Am I now? Not really, but unfortunately, I am a creature of habit. The only reason why I often play with the PlayStation 5 over my Xbox is I lost my controller to the Xbox for the longest time. I think I know where it is now, which is these are dumb reasons. I recognize that, but my brain works in dumb ways. So I didn't have the ability to turn it on. For some reason, the Xbox has like conflicts with my TV. So if I turn it on with the controller, it ends up in like this 480p view bullshit, and I can't get it to high def, which means I have to turn off the system, like actually get up, turn off the system, turn it back on, and then hopefully all that does connect. It's really fucking weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, but part of it, for the problem is I have to get up from the couch. And I'm very big in, I will play the system if I could just reach over to a controller and turn it on, and it flips over and everything works fine, then that is the system I'm gonna be using.
Ooh.
If I have to get up and troubleshoot, I'm not a happy camper. I don't want to get up. It's the living room. It's sit time until I have to take a piss or go to bed or grab food at the door.
Interesting.
I'm a lazy son of a bitch. And if you ask me to get up and do anything, I will groan. Like it's like my life's about to end, you know?
Dude, I feel that so much.
I
haven't had to do that in like 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember, I think the last time that I had ever been in that situation is when we were living in an apartment.
Mhm.
I think that was the last time that I've ever been like my roommate would ask me to do something. I'm like, ugh. And I like the world was ending.
I feel terrible every time because I'm groaning because I'm like, this is incredibly inconvenient for me. But then I have to like get up and do it because there isn't a voice inside my head that's like, you lazy sack of shit, just fucking get up and do it.
Every time.
Like, come on, man. Like, I get it. You're real comfy right now, but you will be comfy again. So just get up and I'm like,
that is basically the thing that has kept me from being a fat fucking sloth.
Yeah.
Has been the something in the back of my brain that's like,
just get up, dude.
just get up. Just
Fuck it, get
it's
up.
time to be a functioning person to society.
Yeah.
You
So
go do your bare fucking minimum, and I'm like, okay.
yeah, all right. So, but that is to let you know that if on a ideal day where everything is working well, I think the Xbox. I don't even know what this latest generation is called. Xbox.
Brother,
Exclaim.
I stopped using Xbox around like Halo 4.
What is the latest? See, this is the problem I have with Xbox. I don't even know what the latest version is called. PlayStation 5. I know what that's called. Oh yeah, it's Xbox Series. I think I have an Xbox Series X because I think S is the like cheaper one. So I got the X. Xbox Series X.
Sure, man.
I don't know. These names are fucking stupid is what I'm trying to tell you. It's like people were online were giving shit to Nintendo because they're calling their next Switch the Nintendo Switch 2. Everyone's like, lazy, dumb, stupid name. And I'm just like,
complete perfect sense.
What is the fucking problem, guys? I know
the Switch
what
is
it's called.
dog shit anyway, but at least calling it Switch 2 is good. Good on you.
Well, so the Switch scratches a certain itch when it comes to like games, and their first party games are incredible. The Switch 2 is supposed to have the equivalent power of a PlayStation 4. Nintendo is out of the powerhouse game. They're like, we're just gonna make affordable systems. Go nuts, So the Switch 2 has the same power as a PlayStation 4 or close to it. So they're not even in this generation. They don't have to be. They got a lovely mobile. But anyways, that is to say, if I were to choose a system in an ideal world, I mean, only thing I'm playing on my PS5 right now is Square Enix games. So I've been playing all like I played Final Fantasy 16. I played Romancing Saga 2 that came out. I'm now playing through. I just finished Final Fantasy 10 HD remake. I'm now playing 10-2, which I don't think you played Final Fantasy 10 or 10-2, but
14 has been the only Final Fantasy game I have ever played.
That is not surprising. Not surprising at all. X2 takes a very weird turn that, because Masae's never seen the game. We're playing it. We got past X. It's a very heartfelt, sad ending, and you're just like, ugh. I was like, that was good. Like, yeah, there was some bumpy, like, this is a 2001 game in design and story, but this was good. And then you get into X2. And suddenly, it's a Persona game, and like the big characters are just these three girls, and it's just jazzy music, and everyone's just—it's a funny laughing time, and it's a really weird like tone shift, and you're just kind of like dazed for a second because you're like, what the fuck is this game?
What
like,
happened?
Yeah, it's way more comical. So, but I never really played 10-2, so I'm trying to play 10-2. But anyways, there's so. But if I were to choose like a system where it's like it would work out perfectly, and if like gun to my head, they're like, we're gonna toss these other systems out, you get to keep one. Even though I haven't played it in over a year, I would keep the Xbox Series X. And the reason why is because that Xbox Market Pass, or whatever the fuck it's called, the Game Pass, is the best fucking Game Pass on the market right now. It's the best. It's you can get yourself an Xbox Series X. You can get the Xbox Game Pass, and you would never have to purchase another game again.
Nice.
You would just, it's incredible. Not only do you get access to all these, you get access to so many titles. I think I get access to all of like the Xbox, like the first Xbox game titles, all the like 360 game. Yeah.
God damn.
And I think the game console is backwards compatible all the way back to Xbox, which is just to me like holy fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, meanwhile, Sony's over here charging me 3 times the price for their stupid their stupid Game Pass. They slowly release games. They have a classics collection of not a lot of classic games, but enough where I'm like, oh, I get to play that again.
and they're not backwards compatible, which is dog shit. Like like I was a Sony boy with PlayStation 2, because you play your PS1 games and your PS2 games and all that stuff. And then PS3 came out and they got cocky. They went, that was the infamous $599 US, and everyone was like, fuck off. And then they finally lowered it down to $299. And then PlayStation 4 came out, and it was good. It was very good. And Xbox was kind of entertaining with this sort of like, you have to register your game CD or whatever to the console, so you couldn't play with like a friend's game disc. And Sony was like, yeah, you don't have to do that with us. And everyone was like, yes. And it was like a $400 system. They fixed everything they did from the PS3, and PS4 was pretty good. The problem was it wasn't backwards compatible, which was bullshit. I want it backwards compatible. I want to play my old games. I want to play this shit, you know.
That's
so
why I bought them.
So Xbox Series X, I go to the marketplace. First thing I'm looking up is Morrowind. They're like, it's right here. I'm like, I'm playing it, and I did. I played Morrowind. I played Fable 2. I played all sorts of Xbox 360 games. Xbox. I was like, oh, so good. And yes, you can play Xbox Game Pass on PC as well. So not only are you playing games on your console if you want to be out in the living room, you're also playing games on your PC, and it's super fucking like. Let me look up Xbox Game Pass price. It is. Let's see here. First of all, it's $1. I think I read it's $1 to join. For 14 days. Yeah, get your first 14 days for $1. Okay, so I'm looking at the Ultimate Pass, okay? Ultimate Pass. So you get hundreds of high-quality games on console, PC, and cloud, so you get it all. New games on day one. Like, you get immediate access to new games. They're like, hey, are you a Game Pass member? On day one, you're going to get access to Doom: The Dark Ages, the new Doom game that's coming out. All of this, $20 a month, $19.99 a month. That's it.
Okay.
Keep in mind, your Netflix subscription is now like $22 a month, and they're planning on raising up the money. Yeah.
Breaking you across the coals.
Yeah. Just get yourself an Ultimate Game Pass, or you can get a PC Game Pass, which is the same thing, except it's PC only, for $11.99 a month. So if you don't have an Xbox, that's okay. You get the PC Game Pass, and you get access to Minecraft. You don't have to pay for Minecraft. You just get it.
You have to pay for Minecraft?
Well, I mean, like, back in the day, you had to, like, pay for Minecraft when it first came out.
I think I bought it, like, once. I don't think I need, like, a subscription to play Minecraft.
No. As in, like, pay to, like, you still have to buy it once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ain't it, like, how much is it now? Like, how much are they charging for Minecraft?
Purchase Minecraft. Minecraft, $29.99.
Oh, my God. I don't remember what the fuck I bought it for. I think it was way cheaper. I thought it was like $10.
Yeah, I think it was $10. I bought it when it was in beta, so like it definitely.
I bought it when like the only thing you could do was do creative. Like
yeah, it's pre Microsoft acquisition when Notch was still making the game. So that's when I bought it. Yeah, but you can also just get the Game Pass, and then you have access to Minecraft for $11.99 a month. But Jesus Christ, like the game, like day one games, first of all, is incredible. So yeah, as far as Game Passes go, like Microsoft has the best one, bar none. Sony is dog shit. Sony's is like absolute garbage. I'm embarrassed I'm still active on it, but I primarily play on the PlayStation 5 because that's the system that works best on my TV. So but you know what? I'm probably gonna. I've been meaning to boost up, get the Xbox turned on.
Nice.
Because I want to play Lost Odyssey again, which I haven't played in like over 10 years. So I have the Game Pass, so I can absolutely do that. What I need to do is I need to get like one of those apps, those banking apps that show my active subscriptions. I need to start shutting down a bunch of them because I guarantee you I have subscriptions active that I don't even realize I have. It terrifies me. It terrifies me the amount of money I'm probably just throwing down the drain because I have subscriptions I haven't even thought about for years and years. And the moment I think about it, I go, you know what? I'll deal with that later. Just push it back. Push back the fear.
How do you go through it? How do you even go through? How do you go through and like check? That's like the big thing.
Yeah, I think there is like there are like banking apps out there. I hear like Rocket Money for a lot, not sponsored. But you know, I've heard about that a lot. And I think like if you pay a fee, they'll even cancel it for you. So like a small, like few dollar, whatever the subscription is, they're like, hey, if you give us like a couple of bucks or whatever. I don't know if that's actually how it works, but they essentially will point out all your active subscriptions by looking into your account, your bank accounts, and go,
okay.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, I should probably do that because I also, considering the fact everyone's been raising prices left and right on the streaming services.
Absolutely.
I should probably double check on, because I know I got Netflix, I got Hulu, I got Disney Plus, I got Apple. I'm sure there's a bunch of other applications I have. On Amazon, I got Prime.
Brother, do you want a website that you can just watch all those shows on for free?
If not on this podcast, I don't.
I'm not gonna say it out loud, but do you want that? I watch every single show through that.
I'm good. I told myself once I was gonna make money, I wasn't gonna do nefarious deeds for my media, so I don't do it. I used
except they're charging you like $29 now.
And I get it. I'm the chump here. I back in the day was big on ye old pirate sites, and I want to try this game out. Download, and you're like, oh my god, it's so easy, and you can just play it. And that I remember doing that all the time. Game of Thrones, absolutely downloaded episodes of Game of Thrones and did that. So, and then one day I stopped. I don't need to do this. I can afford this shit, you know, and it is. And that's also another thing about pirating for me personally. It's just like, it's anti-piracy, right, is just so counterintuitive. When something is harder to play because you've got like all these anti-piracy attached to it, the only people you're hurting are the people that are trying to actually who bought the product and want to fucking play that shit. That is the only person, because I guarantee you, someone pirates anything, any protection you put on it will be overwritten, overpassed, and they just be like, press this little button, and you start a little application, and then like it plays funky little retro music, and you press the button, and it like does something to an ISO that you got, and you're like, all right, now you can just play it, and you're like, oh, sick, and then you do. I remember specifically back in the days of like CD keys, you know, where like CD keys were the only way that you can get a game to install, and then once you did, like if it was an online game especially, that CD key didn't work anymore. So we were in an era of CD keys, and I specifically remember this because Morrowind, which was the game I fell in love with in the early 2000s, that was my identity, was Morrowind. It was just install off the CD and then have the CD in when you play the game. No CD key. So it actually was extremely easy to no CD hack Morrowind, which meant it was very easy to pirate Morrowind. And that game made so much fucking money. So that to me was the lesson of pirates are going to pirate. There's nothing you can really do.
Correct.
If you make the game harder to play to try and be anti-pirate, like that's why, like for Why Slay Dragons, I didn't want to do like a stupid watermark or, you know, identifications on the bottom of that. I just like, yeah, just, you know, like we go through a service that has a hard limit of 10 downloads, but if you like for some reason go through those downloads and email hello@ilpublishing.com. We'll look at, make sure nothing weird's going on with the downloads, right? But we'll more than we'll just reset it and be like, all right, here you go.
There you go. Here's your stuff back.
Yeah. Now you can download it again. Whenever we release an update, we reset all the downloads so that people can download those updates. And for me, it's just there really is no reason to be anti-piracy, because people will more than often, if they want to buy your product, they'll just buy it. They won't go through the piracy side of it. They'll purchase it. They're like, I really want to purchase this, and I have the money to do so. They'll do it. People who pirate your stuff typically weren't gonna pay for your product to begin with. So I'd much rather have someone have the product, right, and enjoy it, and then one day become a customer and go, I'm gonna spend some money on this now because some life changes have happened, et cetera, than me shut that down and potentially hurt a customer relation. So that's just the way I've always viewed it. I don't worry about that shit. Now, that is to say, if you have pirated, and people have pirated people have fucking pirated the book. Like, I see Reddit posts of like, oh, go to this site to download Why Slay Dragons movie. I'm like, what the fuck? So I mean, I know it's out there but the people that downloaded it, or people that were not going to purchase it to begin with. So, I mean, you could rip your hair off trying to put all these protections 100%. In place. Or you're
going to lose your fucking mind trying to do that, honest to God.
And that's why I don't worry about it. I just go, the only protections we have here is this, and, we've got the 10 download limit because that's the maximum amount of downloads we can do through the site. And also that if you suddenly run out of downloads and you email us being like, I need more downloads, I have an ability to just do the bare minimum check, right? Of just like, why are these downloads gone? And seeing what IP, because if I see 10 different IPs, it's going to be very suspicious when I'm like, okay, nah, you ain't getting this. Sorry, bud. So it's just an easy thing to check. I have had people who have unfortunately spent all of their downloads because their computer wasn't working, or they didn't realize they were downloading the file every time. And those I'll check, and it's the same fucking IP. I'm like, all right, yeah, just I'm gonna reset it, but like, just double check, just double check that shit. And that's honestly as far as I got with that. But yeah, Xbox Game Pass is the best Game Pass, hands down. It is the most, very good. I feel like best bang for your buck is that Game Pass. Okay, so one last topic, unless there was another topic you wanted to bring up. I felt like
no, man, hit that monster manual. I've been waiting.
I'm really hoping this is going to be the last week I complain about the monster manual. I got the early access to monster manual, and yep, it didn't have any creation rules in there, and I knew there was going to be, because people who were getting earlier access than I was, we're pretty much saying it wasn't, but it was a good monster manual and blah, blah, blah. And I went, whatever. And at that point, I was already dejected and figured that Wizards should have abandoned me because I'm not the intended audience anymore. So fine, whatever. So we're going over the monster manual on Tuesday. We did an impromptu stream. And mainly what I was doing was I was seeing the new monsters. All the new monsters do stuff. CR's borked again, which is not surprising. And we were doing some comparisons, and I was going through the old 2014 CR calculator to see how identical the CR numbers were. And I'd say half the time they were the same number, but the other half the time they were like about one off from the initial CR. And I assumed it was because of like miscellaneous abilities or that they have in their internal system that went, add +1 to CR. One thing I did notice is goblins. Nimble Escape no longer seems to calculate into CR.
Interesting.
It used to before because of the bonus action to hide, bonus action to disengage. Now it doesn't seem to. So the standard CR numbers work if Nimble Escape isn't checked off. So that was kind of surprising to me, but not really at the same time. So I'm looking at the numbers. The numbers are mostly there, and I came to the conclusion that CR is just fucking dumb. You know, it's never worked. It's never worked. That's why I want to make a level system for monsters in a 5e system, much like what Pathfinder does, because the CR system isn't fucking working. And it's never worked. And, you know, like, so I was already kind of like, whatever, stupid, dumb. And I was talking about the lack of monster creation, which I thought was really stupid. And I was like, I guess we'll never know the reason. But at the same time, like, it sucked because 3rd edition D&D has all these systems in place that really scratches the game designer's itch so that you can kind of make your own shit. And that was always a really cool thing to do, you know? That was always a really cool thing. So the fact that something like that doesn't exist in this new version of D&D is very disappointing to me, because you're not getting the tools that you need to make your own shit, to scratch the game design itch. Reskinning an existing monster is not game design. I'm sorry. You know, it just isn't. It isn't. You know, all you're doing is just going, it's the same monster, but I'm just reskinning it. You know, it might be like more creative writing design, but it definitely isn't game design. And the system they have in place in the DM's guide of just like adding these random abilities not to affect CR, to me personally, is also just like, it's a little better. Like, that's starting to get into game design, but there's so much more that you can do. So I was like, man, that's really unfortunate. And one of our viewers said, oh yeah, they talked about it in an interview about them not including that. And I went, excuse me? I'm like, where is this interview?
Show me.
Yeah, exactly. So this is that Screen Rant. I'm gonna read all of this, and I'll probably interject because there were some answers that I was just like, yeah, that's fucking dumb. That's bullshit. That's
I'm off, King.
Yeah. So the question is asked: the point of monsters, the creature creation section in this book, is one that's a lot smaller than in the 2014 manual. Did DMs expect anything more on that front in the future? Chris Perkins responds, it is absolutely within the realm of possibility that as we do future rule expansions, that we will offer DMs more creative tools for building things for their own campaigns. So a non-answer. Here in the Dungeon Master's Guide, going back to the idea that this is sort of the DM's start or the DM's handy toolkit, we wanted to give the DM creature building that was quick, that was easy, and that wouldn't cause them to create a monster that was off CR and potentially wreck their encounter. Which is bullshit, because CR is bullshit anyways. It's absolute horseshit, like how wishy-washy CR can be. So the fact that, you know, Chris Perkins is over here saying we didn't want someone to make an off CR creature was just, I rolled my eyes.
That is
so
fucking dumb. Continue.
And then states after that, which was actually a danger with how the 2014 guidance was put into place. And I'm like, brother, it's been 10 years. D&D is the top TTRPG in the world. I don't think a 2014 CR table caused any danger with your game system. But okay, fine. CR was a menace to 2014. Okay.
Sure, man.
And so he follows up with this, and the few interactions I've had with Chris Perkins is a lovely individual, but this answer is complete bullshit. And so he continues by saying, and so we did scale it down and basically said, hey, you know what? And here's the part that pissed me off. Give me 1 second. He then says, and so we did scale it down and basically said, hey, you know what? There's a big book of stat blocks called the Monster Manual. And there's over like 500 of them now. You could take one of those and kind of reskin it in the way to create a monster that your players will think is new. And that sentence pissed me off. I was like, and there's the marketing that I had
money people got them.
That I've had my tinfoil hat about, where they were like, hey, we don't want you to make your own creatures. We want you to reskin our creatures so that you buy our books. And there it was.
That was our tinfoil hat that came true.
Yep. I will repeat it again without echo. And so we did scale it down and basically said, hey, you know what? There's a big book of stat blocks called the Monster Manual. And there's over like 500 of them now. You could take one of those and kind of reskin it in this way to create a monster that your players will think is new. And there it is. It is.
That's so crazy.
Gave me a non-answer about the DM's guide and then plugged the Monster Manual so fucking hard it'll make your head spin. James Wyatt, who's also another designer, I don't know who this individual is, said, yeah, along the theme of printing only advice that is tried and true, tested and approved for use at your table, the best way to create a monster is by reskinning an old one. Here's the 1-2 punch. The one punch of buy the Monster Manual, reskin it. So that's one punch there, and you go, ugh. And James Wyatt continues, start from one that we have tested carefully using math that is too complicated to print in a book. And reflavor it, tweak it a little bit in ways that aren't going to impact this challenge. So, did you see the 1-2 punch? Chris Perkins came in and said, yeah, no, we decided not to include that because it was destroying games. So what you can do is buy our book and reskin it, so punch. And then James Wyatt went, the best way to do it is to use our monsters because our monsters actually are balanced. They're tried and true and tested for your table. And the math is too complicated for anyone else, meaning anyone else that's making their monsters, the math is probably going to be off.
You're not smart enough to make monsters.
That's right. So, buy our book was the one punch. And then the second punch was the everyone else doesn't know what they're doing. Our monsters are the most authentic monsters and the most balanced monsters because we have all the math and no one else has the math. So, which is exactly what I said when it was really fucking dumb when Jeremy Crawford was like, yeah, the table for 2014 is wrong. It's incorrect. It's not our tables. So though you can't trust those tables. And then jump a year later, Chris Perkins is saying, hey, you know what? Buy our book of 500 monsters that you could reskin. Then James Wyatt is going, yeah, because the math to make monsters are really fucking complicated. So you can trust our monsters, the things that we're selling to you. And anyone else who's making their own monsters, probably not as authentic, which is dumb. So I had a field day, just went,
of course,
fuck off. Okay, I'm gonna make my own thing with blackjack and clowns. I'm gonna have a whole carnival, baby, where I'm gonna make my own shit. I'm gonna distribute it to people, so people can make their own shit with it too. So fuck off, because again, this is just greed. This is just greed. And also, the swings they've been taking at third party has been so fucking blatant that I know they're trying to sell themselves as like the king of the mountain. First of all, to anyone who worked with the designing of CR, your CR system is shit. The way that you made monsters are shit. The monsters that you have made in the past have been unbalanced and shit. And that's because CR it doesn't exist. It's not a thing. You know, yes, there is a difference between a CR3 creature and a CR15 creature,
but there really isn't much of a difference between a CR3 and a CR4 or a CR2. The numbers can get so muddled, and if you make it a creature in a certain way, it could be any of the above CR with it, as long as within the specific tiers of play. This is further hammered out when I'm going through the CR calculator and I'm seeing that all of the monsters are about 1 off from internal calculations that are just too complicated for anyone else, which, fuck you for saying that. And I was like, these numbers are all off. I guess the tables are there. Other things that I checked before, the CR numbers were pretty much spot on. From older monster manuals and other creature stat blocks and things. For the most part, it was about spot on. Sometimes it was about 1 off. And again, that was just game testing going, you know what? This is more of a CR20, not a CR19. And which is fine. Because again, the game breaks down after level 12. So, I start looking at the CR20 plus creatures. And these CRs are all over the fucking place. I'm talking... I'm calculating a CR27 for a CR23. I'm calculating a CR21 for a CR25. It's all over the fucking place. The math makes no fucking sense. And then someone mentioned in chat that they had said that they fudged with the numbers for CR20 plus creatures to make them more powerful. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, sure, it's all made up. It's all fucking made up. And that is when I came to the conclusion. They probably do not have a CR system to print because it's probably all fucking made up. That there is no system. There is no checks and balances. There's play testing and going, I think this is like a CR5. And then they play test it a couple of times and they go, maybe a CR6 because of this ability. All right. And then they send it out with CR6. And so that's my new tinfoil hat theory, is that their CR system that they've got behind the scenes probably isn't really anything solid, because everything in D&D 5e is sort of wishy-washy to begin with. So yeah, but I didn't appreciate the swipe of reskin our monsters, just buy our book. And I didn't appreciate the
book, moron. Why are you stop trying to make you're obviously an idiot. You don't know how to make monsters like we do. So stop trying to make shit.
Yeah. We make the best monsters, is what it said. Again, along the theme of printing only advice that is tried and true, tested and approved for use at your table, the best way to create a monster is by just getting an old one. Start from one that we have tested carefully using math that is too complicated to print in a book. Which, again, to me, is a dog shit answer, because if you've got a system, it's probably written down somewhere. So it's not that complicated to print that in a book. You just don't fucking want to.
Correct.
And so it is. It's just this marketing bullshit, this dumbass, and it is. It is. For the first time that I can think of in D&D history, has put the D&D designers on a different tier than the homebrew enthusiasts.
We're better than you.
Seriously.
I know more than you.
It used to be everyone had the same tools, which meant everyone was capable of making the same quality of product, if not better. Sometimes first party gets it right. Sometimes third party gets it right. It didn't really fucking matter. But this bias against homebrewing and third party, and I guarantee you the response will be like, yeah, well, we're releasing a new SRD. Yeah, because you were pressured to do it. You were pressured to put the OGL and the SRD into the Creative Commons because you didn't want to deal with it anymore. And you saw your sales dropping from D&D Beyond subscriptions. You saw that. You saw what it affected you. And then you were quiet for well over a week in 2023 until suddenly you pushed Kyle Brink out in front and went, hey, everyone, seems to be having a conversation about the OGL and SRD and the new OGL. We pitched to people behind closed doors and gave them a generous cut that forced third party to sign or pay a higher price later. Like, the tactics these guys did was fucking ridiculous. They went, hey, everyone, this is the new OGL that we're going to be pushing out next year. Here are some contracts where you guys will be able to sign in at a lower percentage that you'll have to pay WotC. But if you don't sign it and decide to go in it later, you're going to have to pay a higher percentage to WotC. And, you know, just real muscle-armed bullshit, which everyone was silenced about, by the way. So they all had to sign NDAs. They all can do that. Yeah, no, it was a very fun thing. And then when it finally leaked a year later, and everyone was like, "Hey, what the fuck?" WotC went quiet for like a whole fucking week until everyone went, you know what? Unsubscribe from D&D Beyond. And then after those subs started to drop, they pushed Kyle Brink up for us. Hey, whoa,
hey.
Yeah.
Relax.
Like, hey, what's up? Yeah, let's have a conversation. Well, no, they pushed unnamed wizard staff in front, staff member in front of everyone. Because,
sacrifice him now.
Yeah, because they gave the stupid, petty answer. You know, some people may think that, they won, but in fact, we all won. Like some bullshit response like that. I have to find that answer again. It was just the worst. It was the biggest, like, now, you might think we lost about this argument, but actually, we secretly won. And you're just like, what the fuck? Hold on, let me look this up. Let me see. WotC, some people will say they won. Ah, here it is. Second, you're going to hear people say that they won. And we, okay, I'm trying to read this, like, response. I want to read the full response. When we initially conceived of revising the OGL, it was with three major goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D and Web3, blockchain games, and NFTs while making clear that the OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. And third, we wanted to ensure that the OGL is for the content creator, the home brewer, the aspiring designer, our players, and the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purposes. Driving these goals were two simple principles. Our job is to be good stewards of the game, and the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about those principles has wavered for a second. Second, you're going to hear people say that they won, and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans. Those people will only be half right. They won, and so did we. And that response, I was like, petty much? Petty much?
Dude, the money people have their fucking hand around their throats, bro.
Yep.
Like, you motherfuckers need to make us obscene amounts of money now, or else I'll kill your family. Like, that's the fucking vibe I'm getting.
Yep. And so after everyone said that response was fucking bullshit, Kyle Brink appeared out of the woodworks, essentially. He got pushed out in front of January 18th. He's just like, hi, I'm Kyle Brink, the executive producer on D&D. It's my team that makes the game we all play. D&D has been a huge part of my life, long before I worked at Wizards, and will be for a long time after I'm done. My mission, and that of the entire D&D team, is to help bring everyone the creative joy and lifelong friendships that D&D has given us. These past days and weeks have been incredibly tough for everyone. As players, fans, and stewards of the game, we can't, and we won't, let things continue like this. I am here today to talk about a path forward. First, though, let me start with an apology. We are sorry. We got it wrong. It's the most ultimate. It's the most ultimate. Like, you ever see that South Park scene with the BP oil guy, and he's just like, we're sorry, we're sorry, we're sorry. That's what that felt like. We are sorry. We got it wrong. Our language requirement in the draft OGL was disruptive to creators and not in support of our core goals of protecting and cultivating an inclusive play environment and limiting the OGL to TTRPGs. Then we compounded things by being silent for too long. We hurt fans and creators when more frequent and clear communication could have prevented so much of this. Starting now, we're going to do this a better way, more open and transparent, with our entire community of creators, with the time to iterate, to get feedback, and to improve. If this sounds familiar, it's because it's how we do it for the game itself. So let's do it that way for the OGL too. We'll listen to you and then we'll share with you what we've heard. Something about that sentence cracks me up. We'll listen to you and then we'll just reiterate what you said so you know that we heard you.
Yeah, I got your path forward. Pathfinder by Paizo.
There it is, baby. Woo!
You want to fight a banshee? Don't worry. It's not going to kill your ass at level 3. It's going to kill your ass at level 17, where it's meant to be.
Much like we do in our Unearthed Arcana playtest, this will be a robust conversation before any release, before we release any future version of the OGL. Here's what to expect. On or before Friday, January 20th, we'll share new proposed OGL documentation for review and feedback, much which we do with the playtest materials. After you review proposed OGL, you'll be able to fill out a quick survey. The survey will remain open for 2 weeks. Finally, you deserve some stability and clarity. We're committed to giving creators both input into and room to prepare for any updates to the OGL. Also, there's a ton of stuff that isn't going to be affected by the OGL update. So today, right now, we'll lay out all those areas. And essentially, all that said was, hey, it was their fan content policy, so you can make video content, any non-published work, so like any like homebrew shit you got, I guess, VTT content, DM's Guild content, any content that already uses the OGL wouldn't be affected by it. No royalty or financial reporting added, and you remain ownership of the content. So they did that. They released a version on 20th. Everyone unanimously was like, just stop fucking with this and give it there. So after the feedback of the survey, this is when the OGL was immediately pushed into the Creative Commons. Kyle Brink, this fucking market answers. When you give us playtest feedback, we take it seriously. Already more than 15,000 of you have filled out the survey. Here's what you said. 88% don't want to publish TTRPG content under OGL 1.2. 88% was like, I don't want it. I don't want to print it. 90% would have to change some aspect of their business to accommodate the new OGL. 89% are dissatisfied with deauthorizing the old OGL. 86% are dissatisfied with the VTT policy that they were also trying to push. 62% are satisfied with the original SRD content in Creative Commons, and the majority of those who were dissatisfied asked for more SRD content in Creative Commons. So they went, all right, understood, and they immediately pushed it in the Creative Commons. And they said, our goal here is to deliver on what you wanted. So what about the goals that drove us here when we started the process? We want to protect the D&D play experience in the future. We still want to do that with your help. We're grateful for the community. Blah, 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 blah. And then that was it. That was it. So immediately after the first draft to the public, they immediately were like, all right, fine, it's just gonna be the Creative Commons. We're not gonna fucking worry about it. It's just gonna be there. So, and that is to say that, you know, they're gonna fucking try and be, they're like, we're a supporter of a third party, when historically they haven't been. It wasn't only until the majority of customers were like, hey, like, support third party, that they went, whatever, it's in the Creative Commons now. So if the argument from me to me is like, hey, but they're gonna release an SRD for 2024 this month, or they're supposed to release one for this month, and push into Creative Commons, see, they do care about third party,
they're doing it under duress. And as you can see with the D&D 2024 version that has barely any homebrew ability because you can't make your own creatures without reskinning them. Their spell tables for making your own spells are also wrong because you apparently should do 66 or 5d6 area damage at level 3 when fireball is 8d6. Just all that shit. So that's wrong. They didn't give barely any rules to make your own magic items. They just went, hey, here's how to run adventures with our shit. And then the monster part was the biggest bullshit of it all. That they went, yeah, the math's too complicated, so we're not giving it to you to make your own
You're an
monsters.
idiot.
So buy our book, reskin our monsters. No, they don't give a flying fuck about third party. Yeah, D&D Beyond has third party process, but at the same time, I'm sure D&D Beyond is also getting a generous cut for that content. Yeah, I just no. I don't think. I think they are anti-third party at this point. And even though they're gonna, but we'll see. Because I also don't trust them to do something as simple as go, hey, here's the new SRD. We're throwing it in the Creative Commons. Enjoy. I still think that they're gonna reveal a new OGL specifically for the new SRD.
Of course,
is what I think, and they will give the answer of if you don't want to sign up for the new OGL, you can still use the old OGL with the 2014 content. And you know what? You still can do that, and you can still make content compatible with 2024, because again, Crawford fucking said it was like you could play 2014, 2024. They don't want to do the same 3.5 shenanigans that happened before. They want to make sure it's compatible. And for the most part, it's just 2024 content is just better. That's just all there is to it. So, yeah, I don't know if they'll actually drop the new SRD with no strings attached to the Creative Commons and say it's the latest version, so you're doing that. I'm hoping they don't strip a bunch of shit out. I don't think they will. And the reason why I don't think they will is because I'm keeping a close eye specifically on the D&D Free Rules 2024. Because I genuinely believe that this is what's going to be the SRD, the new SRD.
Interesting.
And so, because that's what they did with the 2014 free rules. That was pretty much made using the SRD with like a couple of off exceptions, but I think that they were just placed there by mistake. For example, bombs are not in the SRD, but they were in the D&D 2014 free versions. So the free rules, the D&D free rules 2024, which has all the rules. I see all the monsters in there now. I don't know. Yeah, they definitely. Oh, interesting.
I'm raising my brow.
So the monsters are a little scarce in the monster section of the 2024 version, which is, I mean, it's fine. It's you get all the basic stuff, but it's really basic. Like Tarosk is not a part of this list anymore. And so line counter. Yeah, it's just like, oh my god. So according to this, ooh. So there's 500 monsters, over 500 monsters in the Monster Manual 2024.
Okay.
In the free rules, there are only 147 monsters.
Oh.
But we're gonna have to wait and see.
You wanna know what's crazy?
What's crazy?
You wanna know what's crazy?
Yeah, what's crazy, Brad?
You know, it's awesome. A little weird, a little strange even. Is I can go to a website, two websites,
yeah?
in fact.
Yeah.
One's called Nethys.
Mm-hmm.
That
I know of Nethys.
that just happens to have, I don't know, every single fucking thing for free from Pathfinder.
Isn't that weird?
That's so odd that every single thing, even the new Guns and Gears remaster book that just got released by Paizo, is going to be on Nethys for free. That's so
That's crazy.
I could type in monster and see the bajillion monster books that are in from both before the remaster and the remaster. It's kind of crazy.
Now,
Archives and Nethys. That's so bizarre.
Yeah, that's so weird. Now, Crown, is this some sort of pirate site?
No, in fact, it's partnered with Paizo.
Wow, would you look at that?
People who publish Pathfinder. That's kind of wild.
It's like we rehearsed
Anyway, what
that.
I'm saying is try Pathfinder 2nd Edition. The remaster is really good. I like it. If you like crunchy numbers, you're going to like it. However, at the end of the day, I am not a heartless man.
Okay.
If you enjoy Dungeons and Dragons because it is your cup of tea, 5th edition is what got you into Dungeons and Dragons, do not worry. The people out there, the people who are passionate about third-party products, who have been supporting 5th edition since its fucking inception back in 2014 when Wizards of the Coast continues to shoot themselves in the foot, don't worry, those people are still out there.
Hi.
They will continue to help you.
Hi, I'm one of those people. Hello. Greetings and salutations.
Do not lose heart, even if Wizards of the Coast is trying to squeeze you for every fucking nickel and dime that you have in your pocket, which I know people are struggling right now. They're still trying to get your fucking your nickels and
pearls.
dimes. Don't worry.
Yeah, clutch them tighter to your chest.
Dungeons and Dragons is ultimately an imagination hobby. You don't need jack shit to play this hobby.
Yeah. You own D&D. It's not Wizards doesn't own it. Yeah. They own the IP, but D&D at its core, at its heart, belong to the people. So
reclaim what is yours, son of man. Reclaim Dungeons and Dragons.
And also you are dealing with a very spiteful raccoon right now that is about to be like, all right, jackasses, you don't want to reveal the numbers? I'll do it myself. I'm gonna make a better creature system. It's gonna take a lot of inspiration from how Pathfinder makes their monsters, because I like how Pathfinder makes their monsters. Just the basics of the building.
The leveling on monsters, amazing.
Super easy. That means you could even level up, level down. All you gotta do is scale, and then that's it. I hit a button in Foundry, beep boop. I go, I want the Banshee to be level 5, and it goes calculating, done. Here's all of your numbers adjusted for you, King. It fluffs my chair for me. It like tucks me into bed. Oh. And if you aren't on a VTT and you're doing it you could, on paper, on the system itself, I've been reading through it, has all the rules necessary to not only make your own creatures, but to level up and down those same creatures.
Correct.
Fully detailed, not that fucking complicated. Like, it can be done. So yeah, we're definitely gonna take that and apply that to 5e, which means stripping it of its CR system, boo fucking who. But that will also mean when I do that, this isn't gonna be in Fiendish Forge, by the way. Fiendish Forge is gonna be a total 5e compatible book with CR. That means when I do that, I can now have elite and boss monsters for our leveled creatures.
Oh.
Yeah. So, which means...
I'm telling you, brother.
Yep, I know. Because that's what 4E also did. They did elite and solo creatures.
It's the best.
Which
fourth edition's the best.
Yeah, fourth edition's great. Yeah. And so abso-fucking-lutely, you know? I definitely would want to make the rules available for free. Probably not at first. Because there's going to be a lot of testing we're going to need to do.
Of course.
And I want to make sure I have that for our paid Patreon members. But the goal would be to eventually release it for free as the biggest middle finger to WotC. And I go, this is how you do our 5e level creature system if you're tired of fucking CR and you want to do it this way. And then who knows? Maybe if we're feeling extra spiteful,
maybe we will take all of the SRD creatures and convert them into leveled creatures, and then release that for free.
Brother, I'm telling you, in the future, when you're making your next Y Slay Dragons, when you could be cooking, brother, you make that shit system agnostic.
Oh yeah, I want to make it.
It is gonna fuck. It will fuck. I'm telling you.
I absolutely would love to make it system agnostic. That might mean a smaller book, but I definitely would love to make it.
That's fine, brother. I think if you came out and you're like, hey, here is a set of cooking rules that you can put in any TTRPG that you play, and it'll work. It'll coincide with whatever you're doing. Like, oh, do you have monsters in your thing? Well, here are rules for monster carving. Oh, do you have mechs in your setting? Here's rules for like carving robots and stuff. You have that. Put that in any fucking system. Money.
Honestly, that does sound pretty good. I've always wanted to make a Y Slay Dragon system. That's just all it is just an Animal Crossing TTRPG.
Nice.
Yeah. where you fish and cook it.
I fish, I cook, I sometimes fish up the monster, I kill the monster, I cook the monster. I'm a chef.
I'm a chef.
I'm a chef.
Yeah, I wanted to be like a heart system, like a Zelda game. And I kind of wanted to like feel like a Zelda game, so like you can get things like hook shots that kind of that pull you horizontally over 2 squares, so like you can have like pit holes and things like that, or whatever. And then it's like, oh yeah, this thing shoots 30. It wouldn't be 30. I wouldn't use feet. I'm like, this thing shoots out 6 squares and then pulls you over to where it hooks on the other side. I'm like, oh my god, you could do like a Zelda dungeon TTRPG with just like basic attacks. Oh man, it'd be fun.
Nice.
Yeah. It would slap. I just need more of me. I need multiples of me now. I guess what I'm trying to say is, my fuck you WotC arc starts now. We're still playing D&D, but we will.
I crumple up actually I don't want to. I paid money for these.
Yeah.
I write it on a piece of paper. It says Wizards of the Coast. I crumple it up. I throw it in the dumpster behind us.
Yep.
Okay, Kobe.
Kobe. Yeah, absolutely. Instead, I want to do our own D&D, our own 5e. You were very. You were very excited about the resistance and vulnerability rules.
Brother, you remember you were like, it has resistance 10. I was like, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, do it, huh? I've played these games before, as I sit back in my chair while the rest of the Shadows Breach crew was like, oh, weird, odd. I was like, yeah, that is, ain't it? Oh, I bet you like that, don't you?
Yeah, the only modification I made to that was resistance kind of functions as like temporary HP.
I did like that.
Yeah, so that way, if you're doing a flurry of attacks or one big attack, resistance has the same impact. But yeah, trust me, man, there are things I miss in 3E that I'm now starting to be like, maybe I'll sprinkle a couple of quote unquote new things and then see what happens.
Gently running hand over $3.5. Perhaps I was too harsh to you.
Brother, I came from 3rd edition. That was my edition, and I still, the same gripes I have with it, I still have. But there are some things that I'm just like, what if I can have it all? Just one of these days, there's gonna be a large sized creature, and someone's gonna be at low hit points, and they're gonna be like, God, I need to get away, but this thing's gonna bite the fuck out of me. And I'm gonna go, well, and I look up to them, my hand gently placed on theirs, and I go, we do have a new rule in IO. It's a skill ability you can do with the acrobatic skill. It's called tumble. Would you like to tumble away from the enemy and not provoke an attack of op? Just roll this dice right over here and make an acrobatics check. If you fail the DC, unfortunately it does stop you in your tracks and you don't go and you just fall prone. But if you do make the DC, well, you can just
move right
There
on
you go.
out there
Ah,
without
isn't that
provoking an
so bizarre?
opportunity. Yeah, look at that. Look at the
My, oh my.
choices, the options that you have right there. Oh, man. And then I'm going to smile and they're going to be like, oh, that's a cool option. Yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do that. And then we get to do an exciting scene where they tumble away or through a creature, even if they wanted to. And then I'm like, yeah, isn't tumbling fun? And they go, yeah,
Yes. Everybody's clapping.
and I just smile and I just look back at Jeremy Crawford, a tear going down his eye a little bit, and going, but people hate tumble. It's like, nope, I don't think so.
They never did.
I don't think so. I don't think so, man. Or if I just go, that is difficult terrain. But you know what you could do is you could make an athletics check to march through that terrain without it slowing you down. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're proficient in it. Oh, then this should be an easy check. Ah, you did it. You can move through without it slowing you down. Oh, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Nice.
We got dreams. The shackles of Watsy released from my wrists. Look, I gave him all the chances in the fucking world to do right.
Trust me, brother. Trust me. My players, I initially was like, yeah, we'll just try this out, and we'll go back to 5th edition, and then it eventually went like, oh, well, you know what? After all of this, we'll I'll ask. I'll figure out if they want to go to Pathfinder, and then it eventually settled on, okay, so going forward, we're playing Pathfinder. That's it. That's the whole stick is we're playing Pathfinder now. My game's going forward, Pathfinder. Boom. You don't get a choice anymore. You want to play Dungeons and Dragons? Go run your own Dungeons and Dragons, man. That's great, man. You let me know. You invite me. I'll come play it. I won't him and haw, but I'm not running Dungeons and Dragons no more.
Yep. So that's I'm slowly converting our D&D games to IO5E games. I'll say this is exclusive for the cast. I sent you a message before the cast. Did you get it? I asked a question.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
I would like.
You could read that question out loud if you want.
Oh, certainly. Is there a class you wish you could play in D&D that currently doesn't exist? Yes, there is. I would like to play a Death Knight. I would like to play a Witch King of Angmar character in Dungeons and Dragons. I want to be the lawful evil Death Knight that the party has to rely on to do some very heinous, pragmatic shit. But we ultimately come to blows at the end of the campaign when we both want to get the MacGuffin. That's what I want. I want to play a Death Knight. I want to be kitted out head to toe in black steel with skulls emblazoned upon my pauldrons, wielding a massive flail. And I want to say to the goblin, no man shall kill me. And the goblin goes, Hatabatakaba, and crits me for 23 and I die. That's what I want. That's what I want to do.
So, the reason why I asked that question is because I sent these questions to you, Lobos, Joe, Masay, and Juniper. And I'm waiting for answers because I want those to be the first classes that I build for IO5E. And then, after those are built, we run a test game with some of the new mechanics that we'll be introducing into IO5E with those players, playing those classes. So you would be a Death Knight.
Woo!
Yeah. That's why the question was, hey, what would you want to play? And you're like, this is what I want to play. It's like, all right, then we're gonna make that.
Sick.
Lobo said that he wanted to do a leech build character.
So a character that's all dependent on like draining health and stuff.
Build.
Yeah. So he wants to be a blood knight. So I'll be making a blood knight.
Oh my god. Evil campaign.
Masay really wants to play a summoner class because summoning in D&D is horseshit. So I'm going to be building a summoning class. Joe said he wants to play a witch. So essentially curses like dark druids.
Nice.
So I'm gonna make a witch, and then I don't. Whenever Juniper gets back to me, she'll let me know. But yeah. So I'm like, okay, these are the classes we're gonna build, and it'll be 5e, and hopefully it will include the new level monster system. It'll include rules that include alternate combat actions based on skills, like tumble and things like that. It would include what else would it? Oh god, I totally forgot. Combat maneuvers like flanking. It would include the new advantage. The new advantage system, which would be a scaling die that you add, like a scaling bless die. They get to add to certain attacks instead of it being,
that's right. The adding the dice and everything like that.
Yeah, instead of advantage disadvantage, you would just have like instead of rolling high or low, you would just have like advantage 1's a D4, advantage 2's a D6, advantage et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, disadvantage 1's D4, disadvantage 2 is a D, and then you could do things in combinations like, hey, flanking guarantees you advantage 1 on your attack rolls. Do you have the spell Bless applied to you? Bless also provides you advantage 1 on attack rolls and saving throws. And since you have 2 advantage 1s on attack rolls, now it's an advantage 2. So you roll a higher dice. So you can actually do like stacking things and combinations and just a little extra number crunch, but not too much where it's overwhelming for people that don't want all the number crunch. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Just a smidgen, just a little bit. And then level 1 having double the hit points, depending on like your background and your class. Your background will give you a set of hit points, and your class will give you a set of hit points, so that you don't start out with dog shit hit points level 1. So I'm cooking.
I'm good. I believe it.
I'm ready. I'm fucking cooking right now because I'm done with Watsy's bullshit. I'm done with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's fucking
2025. It's time.
Woo! Yeah, I'm already working on that sharpshooter class, which I think is gonna be fun. And I want to make I want to make a mesmer class. That's all about adding temporary hit points and then using those temporary hit points to fuel spell attacks, like a psionic almost.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, I'm excited. I'm motivated.
It's time to cook.
It's time to cook, man. I can't fucking wait. So, I was definitely poking people to be like, well, what kind of class you want to play? And then I'll lure you guys into a game and be like, new system.
Lure you guys into a game.
Oh, by the way, those classes, here you go. Here they are. Have fun. Let's see if you like them, And we'll see how we do. But yeah, it'll be very good. I think that's gonna wrap up today's podcast.
Sounds great.
We'll keep recording so we can do the post show. But yes, everyone, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw and would like to support us financially, head on over to our Dumpster Delver Patreon, patreon.com/dumpsterdelver. You can also subscribe to our podcast on YouTube for previous episodes, youtube.com/@dumpsterdelvers. But yeah, that's it. That's it for us. Thank you, Crown, for doing this with me as always.
Oh yeah, brother.
I really do appreciate it.
This is always a fun part of the week.
Oh yeah, it's very fun. It's very good, and I'm always like, maybe it'll probably be like a short 1 hour session or a 1 hour episode, and we always seem to go longer, so that's good. All right, guys, I'm gonna hit the stop stream button now. I'll see you guys later, and then we'll do our post cast for our dumpster tier of Patreon. See you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.